Welcome back, everyone. I'm gonna try to get these out a little quicker than one every few months. So let's dive right back into it with episode 3, season 2, The Tale of Locker 22. Kristen is up again already after telling the story for episode 1 of season 2, which we already covered. This marks her second story of season 2 so far. The Midnight Society are all gathering as usual, but Kristen shows up and looks a bit different. She's decked out in hippie clothes, and that fits right in with her story. Julie is a new transfer student from Paris, and she's already having trouble adapting to her new school. Her new locker is in what looks like a forgotten storage room, and her chemistry class doesn't go that well either. After that mishap, a couple of the other students try to give her a hard time, but a classmate, Chris, comes in to help her. Just as Chris leaves to walk Julie to her next class and show her around, she sees another girl that wasn't there before, and she looks straight out of the 60s. At lunch, Donnie and Fritz, the two guys that tried to give Julie a hard time earlier, are back to finish what they started. Luckily, Julie knows what's coming and gets out of there.
I said that's all!
The assistant principal, Mr. Schaffner, is not having it at all. He sends Donnie and Fritz to the office and even reams out Julie for nothing, while doing his best Arthur impression. Back at her locker, Julie runs into the same girl from before, and like any reasonable person, she tries to talk to her, but I don't think she's in the mood to talk because she's out of there. Julie is of course freaked out and takes off. It's the end of the school day and Julie is leaving. Chris stops her to talk. Julie tells Chris that she thinks she saw a ghost, and of course Chris doesn't believe her at all.
You promise not to laugh?
Cross my heart.
Look, I know this sounds crazy. I think I saw a ghost. Forget I said anything.
So Julie leaves and heads home. That night she gets a phone call from someone trying to prank her by pretending to be a ghost.
I'm the ghost of Derby High, and I'm coming to haunt you, Julie.
Leave me alone!
Naturally, the next day at school, Julie confronts Chris about it because he's the only one she told. At her locker again, Julie finds something. Maybe a necklace, as Donnie and Fritz are amping up the torment. Suddenly, Julie runs into the ghost girl again. This time it seems like she's trying to tell Julie something. Julie puts on the necklace that she found and suddenly everything is different. She's back in the 60s and everyone is calling her Candy. Mr. Schaffner looks different too. He calls her Miss Warren and insists that she come along with him for something. Julie takes the necklace off and everything is back to normal. She catches up with Chris and wants to prove to him that the ghost is real. She tries to explain it, but it doesn't work, so Julie puts on the necklace and drags Chris along with her. Now both of them are back in the 60s. Chris is of course bewildered just like Julie was. Schaffner comes along again and still wants Miss Warren to finish her chemistry project. Chris tells Julie to take the necklace off. She does, and they're both back in the present. Julie and Chris want to find out what's going on and why everyone back in the 60s keep calling Julie Candy and Miss Warren. Chris has an idea and they're off to the records room. They find Candy Warren in a file, and her locker number, Locker 22, the same one that Julie has. They then look through a yearbook from 1968. They don't find her portrait, but they do find an in memoriam page dedicated to her. It's the ghost girl that Julie has been seeing. Julie and Chris are rightfully confused. Why is Candy coming to Julie? Julie thinks Candy might need her help, so they decide to talk it over later and try to figure it out. Julie heads to her locker to grab her things and Chris leaves, but bumps into another teacher and asks him about Candy.
Do you know Candy Warren?
Candy Warren. Haven't thought of her in years. Sure, I knew her. Such a tragedy.
Well, how did she die? Was she like sick or something?
Oh, heavens, no. It was a horrible accident.
He tells Chris exactly what happened. Candy was staying late after school to work on a chemistry project when something went wrong and there was an explosion, and Candy died in the accident. Chris starts putting things together and runs back in to tell Julie, who meanwhile put the necklace on again. Schaffner gets Julie to come to the lab to work on the project, and Julie plays along to get some more information, I suppose. She sits down to work on the project and Chekhov's pipette makes an appearance. Chris runs around in the present trying to find Julie to no avail. Thankfully, Candy shows up. She confirms that Julie is in the past and in danger of dying in the explosion that killed Candy. She transports Chris to the past and he's off to save Julie. He finds her and stops her from lighting the Bunsen burner just in the nick of time. Turns out the tube used for the gas was destroyed, and lighting it would have blown the whole place up, exactly how Candy died. Chris gives Schaffner a right talking to about the faulty equipment.
What were you doing? If you think you...
Stop! Just stop! Look at this. It's rotted through. If you'd have put fire in this, the whole place would have gone up. Hey, don't you check your equipment, Mr. Schaffner?
God. We could have been killed.
Just then, Julie and Chris are gone, but the real Candy is still there, alive. Julie and Chris are back in the present now and run into someone a little familiar. It's Candy. She's the assistant principal in this new timeline. No mention of Schaffner, though. I'm assuming he was fired back in the 60s for the faulty equipment incident. And that's the end. The Tail Blocker 22 is a pretty good episode. A bit above average, I'd say. Not one of my favorites, but there's no denying that it's a very memorable episode. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 tie-dye shirts out of 5. Next up is episode 4 of season 2, The Tale of the 13th Floor, which is an all-time classic and one of my favorite episodes. So until then, stay afraid.